Hi, this is Tracy Link Up Chaos to Clarity. About a month ago, Facebook dramatically changed their privacy settings. I'm going to go over those new privacy settings with you today. One of the things they've taken away from us is the ability to control who sees what you commented on. So let's say you have a friend that makes a post and you commented on their post. It used to be that you can have nobody see that update. Now that's not the case. So that's a really important thing that you can't control. You have to do what we have to do with each comment. Also, all fan pages are public, and you cannot restrict your friends who of your friends sees your friends list. Okay, once you've logged into Facebook, you need to go to your profile page, scroll down on the left hand side, and find your friends list. You need to click on the pencil, and a window will come up, and you need to make sure show friends list everyone is unchecked if you want outsiders not to see your friends list. And this also means people that aren't on Facebook. If you want them to, the default is checked. So if you don't want people to see your friends list, you need to uncheck that. Now, unfortunately, as I said before, all your friends can see your friends list. So you've lost control over that. Most of your privacy settings are found under settings, privacy settings. And the bulk of what you're going to want to investigate and change is under profile information. Now, just remember the default settings, what Facebook recommends, just ignore what they recommend. They're erring on the side of showing people everything, and that may not work for you. So you need to go through each option and choose what's correct and what's right and works for you. Now, for every option, you have the choice of everyone seeing it, which means everyone, not even if they're not on Facebook, it means it'll go through Google searches. Friends of friends, so people that are on your friends list, people on their friends list will be able to see it. Only your friends. Or you can customize it to have people excluded from seeing this information, or particular people seeing it. So you can actually type in particular people, or you can type in perhaps a list that you've created. So I have a list, WBO, from a women's organization I'm a member of. Maybe I only want them to see this information and nobody else. If that's the case, then I would click Save Settings. And then you can see now only the WBO can see that information. People in my WBO list can see that information. So you need to go through each one and figure out what you want people to see and what you don't. One of the cool things that you're able to do from this page is you can preview your profile and see what it's going to look like to other people. Now, this is what my profile looks to people that are on Facebook but also aren't on Facebook. Now, this is so if I want to know what a particular person sees, how they see my profile, I'll just start typing their name and I can see what they see because maybe I've restricted certain aspects from them. So this is what this particular person sees from my profile. And so this is a nice feature if you're trying to limit particular groups of people or particular people from seeing specific information about you. This is a really handy feature that they provided us to control our privacy. So now our contact information, this is really important. I generally don't want people to know this kind of information. So, but if you show it, then don't be surprised if you have your phone number up there, don't be surprised, and I wouldn't recommend it, but don't be surprised if people call you. So only put the information up there that you want people to use to connect with you. That's really important. And again, you have the same options. Everyone, friends of friends, only friends, and customize. So, and then of course, only me. And that's what I've locked down, everything to only me. And that's when you customize it, you can say only me. That's how you get to that setting. Okay, so that's really important to do. Now I have for my email address, my company email address, and that's fine. And if I were going to put a phone number, I would put my work phone number. I would never put my home number. And I certainly would not show anybody my current address. Again, identity theft issues, that you don't need that information out. Stalkers, for whatever reason, that's not a wise idea, so I wouldn't recommend it to anyone to do that. So let's go back to, and again, you have this option to preview your profile and see what people see about you. So back to privacy. You also, applications and websites. This is really important. Applications are allowed to now, since they made these new changes to the privacy settings, they actually can take a lot more information than they used to by default. So this is really important to go ahead and edit these settings. Now this is one thing that's newer, is what your friends can share about you. Control what your friends can share about you when using applications and websites. So click on edit settings. Now I've unchecked everything. I don't need them to share anything about me. I've unchecked everything. I do not use applications, so for me this is less of an issue, but I don't like this idea, and I don't want them to share anything about me at all. Thank you very much. So you need to check and figure out what you want to be shared about you. And this is not by you. This is by your friends who use applications. It's not even if you don't use applications. Your friends that are using applications. So a little bit too much Big Brother for me. So one of the great features on Facebook now is that we're able to control who sees our status updates. So this is a test. So now, say I only want one particular person to see this. I can customize it, and I can pick a specific person only to see this. So I'm going to pick my business partner, Joe Golden. Okay, and I'm going to save this setting, and then I'm going to share it. So she should be the only person that sees it. So now what I can do to see if indeed this is the case, I can go into setting privacy, go into profile information, then I'm going to click on preview my profile. I'm going to type her name, Joe Golden, and I'm going to go to my wall, and she can see this is a test. So now I'm going to select somebody else's name. This is what Claudia can see. I go to the wall, and she doesn't see this is a test. So I've only limited to one person. Now, of course, you can limit this to a group of people, friends, a friends list, a family list. So this is a really great feature to be able to separate your professional life, if you have a lot of colleagues on your Facebook list, from your family and your friends. As I mentioned earlier, we've lost the ability to control who sees what activities we do. So it used to be, for example, if we made a comment on a friend's status update or post, we used to be able to hide that activity from going into our friends' streams and appearing on our wall. We can't do that anymore. We have to do it one by one. So after you've done a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and if you want to not have your friends notified, or you don't want people to know about it for whatever reason, I don't want people to know because I think it's just a bunch of clutter and it's really not relevant and unimportant. For example, that my aunt and I are now friends on Facebook. I don't really think people need to know that. So what I can do now is go to my wall and click on remove. And then I say, yes, I want to delete this post. And so you need to do that if this is something you're concerned about. If you don't really care, you don't mind that people see what you're a fan of and what you've done, then that's fine. Just do for the things that, for whatever reason, you don't want people to know, whether it's about clutter or you just don't think that they need to know that much of your business. So the main changes that Facebook has done is really in the profile information. So you really need to go through this profile information. Check every single one. Make sure it's the option you want. Do not allow the default settings to go through unless you want them to go through. That's really important. So that's something that's really, really important. And remember, the default settings and the recommendations that Facebook are making is to reveal more information, not less. So if that's okay with you, then that's fine. But if that is not okay with you, then you need to make those changes. It's also very important every couple of months, because Facebook is making a lot of changes to their privacy settings. They're always tweaking everything. It's very important every couple of months, actually with whatever social network you're using, to go back every couple of months and see what their privacy settings, what you have set it. Does it still work for you? Do you need to make changes? Has Facebook made changes to the privacy settings that you like or you don't like? You need to check that out. And finally, if you are happy with what Facebook's done, then you should drop them a line and tell them. But if you're unhappy with what Facebook's done, you should also drop them a line and tell them. They're generally fairly responsive to people outcries in the Facebook community with things that people don't like. They often will make changes. So that's really important. If you're unhappy, drop them a line and let them know. If you're happy with them, you should also drop them a line and let them know. So that's pretty much it. So just don't forget, every couple of months, go check those Facebook privacy settings out and have control over how you want people to see you on the web.